Tragedy strikes again, the Saurya Airlines disaster. The serenity of a Sunday morning in Nepal was shattered by an unexpected and devastating event. A Saurya Airlines flight carrying 72 souls tragically crashed, leaving a trail of destruction and heartbreak. The aircraft, en route from Kathmandu, was approaching Pokhara International Airport, a routine journey that turned catastrophic. It went down in a gorge near the Seti River, just moments from the runway, a mere few kilometers from its intended destination. The date was January 15, 2023, a day that will be remembered with sorrow and grief. This tragedy became Nepal's worst aviation disaster in 3 decades, a grim reminder of past incidents that have plagued the nation's aviation history. The ATR-72 turboprop aircraft, relatively new with only 2,000 flight hours, was thought to be in good condition. The weather was clear with no immediate signs of trouble. The cause of the crash remains under investigation, with experts meticulously examining every detail to uncover the truth behind this disaster. However, the disaster has reignited concerns about Nepal's aviation safety record, prompting calls for stricter regulations and improved safety measures to prevent such tragedies in the future. Families of the victims are left to mourn their loved ones as the nation comes together in grief and solidarity, hoping for answers and justice. The Nepalese government has vowed to take immediate action, working closely with international aviation experts to enhance safety protocols and ensure that such a disaster never happens again. As Nepal navigates its challenging terrain and complex weather patterns, the focus on aviation safety has never been more critical. The Saurya Airlines disaster serves as a stark reminder of the importance of vigilance and continuous improvement in the aviation industry. A scene of chaos, eyewitness accounts, and desperate rescue efforts. The scene was nothing short of chaotic, with emergency responders rushing to the site trying to make sense of the devastation that lay before them. The crash site presented a grim picture of devastation. Debris from the aircraft was scattered across a wide area, making it difficult for rescue teams to navigate and assess the situation. The aircraft was fragmented across the steep gorge. The challenging terrain added to the complexity of the rescue operations, with pieces of the plane lodged in hard-to-reach places.
Eyewitnesses described a loud bang, followed by plumes of smoke billowing into the sky. The sound was deafening, and the sight of the smoke rising was both terrifying and surreal. Rescue efforts were immediately hampered by the difficult terrain. The steep and rugged landscape made it nearly impossible for rescue vehicles to reach the site quickly.
Hundreds of Nepalese army personnel, police and locals bravely navigated the treacherous terrain. Their determination and courage were evident as they worked together to reach the crash site. They worked tirelessly to recover victims and search for the black box. The search for the black box was crucial, as it held the key to understanding what went wrong. The tragedy sent shockwaves throughout Nepal and the world, a stark reminder of the ever-present risks associated with air travel, particularly in challenging environments. The mountainous terrain of Nepal, while breathtakingly beautiful, poses significant risks for aviation, making every flight a test of skill and precision for pilots. A history marred by tragedy, Nepal's aviation safety record. Nepal's aviation history is sadly punctuated by a series of accidents. The mountainous terrain, unpredictable weather conditions, and underdeveloped infrastructure have all contributed to this troubling trend. In 2018, a US Bangla Airlines flight crashed near Kathmandu, claiming 51 lives. Just a year earlier, a Tara airplane crashed in Miyagdi, killing all 23 on board. These incidents, along with numerous others, have placed Nepal's aviation industry under intense scrutiny. International organizations have repeatedly raised concerns about safety standards. The perils of the Himalayas, navigating nature's obstacles. Nepal's breathtaking Himalayan landscape, while attracting tourists, poses significant challenges for aviation. High altitudes, thin air, and unpredictable winds create a volatile operating environment. Mountainous terrain necessitates steep takeoffs and landings, leaving little margin for error. Weather conditions can change rapidly, reducing visibility and creating turbulence. These inherent geographical and meteorological factors require pilots with exceptional skills and experience. Section 5. Beyond the mountains, systemic failures plague Nepal's aviation industry. While Nepal's challenging terrain contributes to aviation risks, it's not the sole factor.
Systemic issues within the aviation industry itself play a significant role. These include inadequate training, lax regulations, and questionable maintenance practices.
These issues, often overlooked or downplayed, are deeply concerning. They expose a systemic disregard for safety protocols and highlight the urgent need for comprehensive reform. Section 6. A crisis of oversight, lax regulations and inadequate enforcement. Nepal's Civil Aviation Authority, or CAAN, has faced criticism for its lax regulations and inadequate enforcement.
Critics argue that safety standards are not on par with international norms. The CAAN is accused of failing to effectively oversee airlines and enforce safety protocols.
This lack of stringent oversight has created an environment where airlines may prioritize cost-cutting over safety. This compromises the integrity of aircraft maintenance, pilot training, and overall operational safety. Section 7. The human factor, training and expertise deficiencies. The demanding flying conditions in Nepal necessitate highly skilled and experienced pilots.
However, concerns have been raised about the adequacy of pilot training programs in the country. Some argue that pilots are not adequately prepared to handle the unique challenges posed by Nepal's terrain and weather.
Furthermore, there are concerns about pilot fatigue due to demanding schedules and inadequate rest periods. These factors can impair judgment and increase the risk of errors, particularly during critical phases of flight. Section 8. When safety takes a back seat, maintenance malpractices and their consequences. Proper aircraft maintenance is crucial for safe flight operations. However, there have been allegations of inadequate maintenance practices within Nepal's aviation industry. Financial pressures and a lack of oversight can lead to airlines cutting corners on maintenance.
This can result in potentially dangerous technical issues going unnoticed and unaddressed. The use of substandard parts and inadequate adherence to maintenance schedules pose significant risks to flight safety.
Section 9. The price of inaction, the human and economic costs of aviation accidents. Each aviation accident in Nepal exacts a heavy toll. Lives are tragically cut short, leaving families devastated and communities heartbroken. Beyond the immediate human cost, these accidents have long-term economic consequences.
They damage Nepal's reputation as a tourist destination, impacting a vital source of revenue. The fear of further accidents can deter tourists, impacting local businesses and the national economy.
Section 10. A call for urgent action. Recommendations for a safer Nepali sky. Addressing Nepal's aviation crisis requires immediate and decisive action. The government must prioritize aviation safety by strengthening the CAAN, empowering it to enforce stricter regulations and ensuring transparent oversight of airlines.
Investment in modern air traffic control systems and improved weather monitoring infrastructure is crucial. Prioritizing pilot training programs that meet international standards is non-negotiable. The culture of complacency surrounding aviation safety must change.
Section 11. Hope for the future. Embracing change for a more secure aviation industry. The aviation sector in Nepal stands at a critical juncture, where embracing change is not just an option but a necessity. The path to a safer Nepali sky requires a collective effort. It involves the dedication and collaboration of every stakeholder in the industry, from pilots to ground staff, and from regulatory bodies to airline management. The government, the CAAN, airlines and international organizations must work together to implement meaningful reforms. These reforms should be aimed at enhancing safety protocols, improving infrastructure, and ensuring that the latest technology is employed to monitor and manage flights. Transparency, accountability, and an unwavering commitment to safety must be the guiding principles. Every action taken should be documented and reviewed to ensure that safety standards are not just met but exceeded. By learning from past tragedies and embracing a culture of safety, the aviation industry can build a more resilient and secure future. Continuous training and education for all aviation personnel are crucial in this endeavor. Nepal can work towards preventing future accidents and ensuring the well-being of those who travel its skies. Every passenger should feel confident that their journey will be safe and secure. The lives of countless passengers and the future of Nepal's aviation industry depend on it. By prioritizing safety and embracing necessary changes, we can ensure that the skies over Nepal remain a symbol of hope and progress for generations to come.